Hello everyone and welcome to your collective tarot guidance for the week of September the 12th. Now for this week, I would like to use a very special tarot deck that I was gifted with by a very dear friend of mine. And it is called Mindscapes Tarot, and the artist depicts the major arcana of the tarot deck and two extra cards through landscapes, through his vision of the philosophy of the card, of course, but as a landscape. And I found this really brilliant, so I need to include it in my work somehow. So again, I'll show you the deck. Mindscapes Tarot, it's called, and it's really nice. Now, before I begin, I would just like to say a couple of words about what we can expect next week astrologically. So we do have Sun opposing Neptune, which is where we need to look at reality and everything, even from within ourselves, through a different lens, because this can be an aspect where we need to choose if we allow the illusion to drown us. So basically, our ego might not necessarily perceive the right path as such, but we can also choose to basically tap into our deepest truth and view reality based, with the solid foundations of truth, our spirituality, our morality, our psychology, our identity, our life story, but distilled through us, by us, through soul searching. So that is when we can actually choose to look at whatever the Sun opposing Neptune might reflect in our eyes through a much more divine perspective, and not necessarily get caught up in the drama or in the fear or in the illusion, so to speak. But we also have Uranus trine, and that is absolutely wonderful because it can be surprise, gift, present, help. So there's a lot of good in the sky as well. So now let's give this tarot deck a chance to speak to us of what we can expect in our lives individually, but both collectively next week, because a lot has happened on the world stage, and whatever we might interpret the event as, it does signal a powerful change that has been appearing in my readings for the past few months, where the crown falls, always the crown. So it happened. So the first card is the Magician. So this is such a beautiful illustration. Look at the altar of the classic magicians in the classic tarot decks, but also the mystery, the discovery, the journey, it's hidden, and the light manifesting in this grotto, or I'm not sure what this is. Okay, and we have the card. The second card is not specific to classic tarot. It's the North Node in astrology, and the artist dedicated a card to it, and it's the infinity symbol. It's called the Great Work. And a new dawn, a new sunset. Sunrise, sorry. Sunrise, a new sunrise. Exactly the symbol of the North Node in the sign of Taurus. So yes, there is a lot going on this week in the world collectively, and that also means individually, but perhaps right now the emphasis on what it means collectively, because this means a huge step. North Node in Taurus values, banking, even, work sometimes, labor, economy, harvest, nature, world events, but something new is definitely being born. Sun yes, the Sun trine Uranus, and the Uranus being very close to the North Node. So something is definitely being born. And where Uranus is now, the Sabian symbol of it is at the 18 degrees of Taurus, or 19. It's a new continent rising. So you can imagine the profundity of this moment. And we also have the World card. So something definitely complete. Saturn. This marks the period of big completions. Massive completions in the world out there, but at the same time for us individually. But this is not next week, this is not a moment, this is the beginning of the autumn equinox. And this autumn is definitely going to be a massive time of karmic harvest. Especially that this is where the conversation between Uranus and Saturn, the square, the tension becomes exact, so powerful changes, but also that which was impossible to be completed now, even the impossible might see a certain completion. So these are the cards. And now I'm going to be using another tarot deck, a small one, to, complement. I don't want the eclipse the beauty of the major arcana of these cards. So I've chosen a small tarot deck just for us to be able to clarify with. So yes, the Magician, Muse, the Medium, Mercury retrograde. And also this is a period when magic reawakens within our souls. Autumn knocks at the door. That also means communion with the ancestors. That also means a season when partnerships take a different turn, Libra season. And astrologically, this is where, energies start heading towards what we call via combusta, the path of combustion. 15 degrees of Libra to 15 degrees of Scorpio. So that's when partnerships and us inside do undergo a powerful transformation every single year, but this year is very special and powerful, and a great work, of course. Taurus North Node, for all of us collectively and individually, we need to put very powerful, stable foundations down for the future. And the World card, this is where something is possible for the first time. So what do these cards mean in greater detail? Let's see. And also, this just came to me, if that makes sense. Notice the 1, the infinity, and the end, 21. This, to me, is a quantum leap. A big quantum leap that awaits us this autumn, and this is the beginning of that. This is when the gate is open, and all of us are stepping through it. Collectively, without a shadow of doubt, if that hasn't already taken place, as a gesture, as a symbol. But this is where individually, up to our own timing, we might have this opening until the spring of 2022, Aries season 2022, the beginning of the astrological new year 2023. Sorry, 2023. So next year, when that's the time window until big completions, big world moments, us getting to this top. And notice that some of us have fallen down several times, so it's not the first climb, and yet still the top awaits us, the cloud, something completes, and when we get here, a new perspective awaits, the true vision of our futures and what is coming for us. So also a week of clarity. So this was the 4 of Swords. And the Magician with the Four of Swords, exactly. Mercury retrograde. Some things need to rest. Mercury retrograde. Yes, we're cleaning out the closet, absolutely, but certain things that drives the rush need to rest. The big drive to go forward, maybe this week, kind of needs to rest. Why? In a sense that a lot of info and a lot of clarity, a lot of what is gonna be available and what is definitely not, is gonna head in our way through communication and the news information from the future. So this is from the future. So that means our future drive needs to halt so we can update it with whatever info is heading our way. Any kind of info, Magician, that which is most important to your mindset and your greatest, most imminent goals right now, and also that area or that in your life which is your gateway to learning. So it's that. It even specifies individually that area of your life which you're working with right now, but it's also your source of karmic learning. For some people, that's their love life. For other people, that's their own relationship with this. So, but the future move forward, the battering ram just going straight to target, now it needs to stop and rest. Because, let's see why. Well, ultimately, we need to live very deeply the now. The now. Why the now? A lot of things is coming from the past and the future alike. So we need to be very grounded in the now so we know what to make of it. Why the past? Mercury retrograde. The recent past, okay, but even if it's a bill, even if it's a medical visit, even if it's an electrical equipment needing attention, a repair or service, something, a car. It's the past and you need to get it sorted, and that means you're doing it now in the present. So very grounded in the present. So we need to put the rush towards the future to a halt, because if it's a quantum leap, then everything changes. Allow the changes to set in. Seven of Pentacles reversed. Now the Seven of Pentacles reversed tells me with the Magician harvest, bad harvest, because it's reversed. But maybe the bad harvest is the good harvest, if that makes sense. Bad harvest physically means truth and compensation. This is where the state or people need to really dig into their pockets. The greedier type, those who really don't want to give. And that's a truth, that's a clarity. And on the other hand, there is a lot of compensation coming in. Bad harvest means a time of big compassion and mercy, when love stories ignite and unite. One partner or one element has to be a little bit, on the edge of a bad harvest for someone or something to come in to complete it. So bad harvest collectively, that means crops are destroyed, floods, drought, etc., etc. But individually, this means you're not afraid of changes. You are going in and doing it. Five of Pentacles reversed, exactly as I was saying. Five of Pentacles upright is bad, crisis, scarcity. I don't know. Please, I'm exaggerating, so know that I'm exaggerating. Famine is knocking at the door, Of course, in 2022, by all means, it's not famine, but take this back to the 1939 when Uranus did stuff similarly to now. And it was famine. It was big, big trouble with food and with money and with true poverty. Five of Pentacles reversed. No. This is where, okay, it's a kind of minimalistic, but it's true, it's real, you're living it, you're not afraid, you're not a victim, you're actually surviving graciously. There are a lot of changes, but these changes are for the best. They're healing It's getting the problem done. It's not, poverty is not knocking at your door. It is solutions. Solutions which need you to be a bit radical, let's say. Okay, but that's not the same as poverty. That's not the same. You will have options. So that's why you're Mercury. Now this is for the great work, so the North Node kind of card. So what I have is the Strength and the Knight of Wands reversed. Push through. Push through. Push through. Do the work. Work! Sorry, for some people, for some listeners, this is so simple work. If you're a professional, if you're doing something, if you have a kind of business or whatever like that, then work. Then do not be shy. Shine, do it, invest, sweat, cry, scream in the pillow, sleep whenever you can, do, the not very gracious stuff when you're exhausted by work, like eat straight from the cooker or whatever, or not wash for 3 days or whatever, but do it. Work, do it. It's worth it. It's whatever you invest energy, effort, sweat, blood, sweat and tears into, that will pay off handsomely. May it be materially, whatever this nodal impulse is for you, and you have the power to do the strength, strength. Let's be honest here. And in this specific tarot deck, strength is not 8 but 9. 9, sorry, 11. 11, which should be the Justice card. So this means to me even strength to push through in courts of justice, a decision you took, something that might tempt you to look back, go back to a bad, old, outdated pattern which gives you comfort and safety, but it's an illusion. Don't do that. Push through. Okay, I said put the future on hold. But when you work, even if you work for the future, but it's the present, what you have in the present, you need to push that. If it's work already that you have in your hands, a contract that's already there, a mission, something that you've already started and is great working progress, push through. And Knight of Wands, even if this Mercury retrograde kind of slams you with other issues to handle from the past, still handle it. Dare to invest energy now. Even dare to tire yourself out a little bit, because it will be worth it. And don't get me wrong, for some people, tiring yourself out really means self-discipline. Not to eat the chocolate, not to smoke the cigarette, not to say yes to things they don't really want in their heart of heart, whatever this purification period means to them. So yeah, and on the world stage, powerful action is going to take place on the world stage. Very, very powerful action, diplomatically maybe, in this war maybe, decisions, choices, intensity, powerful. And Knight of Wands, maybe there is going to be a massive opposition, but it's part of the game. The world needs to move forward. Hangman, yeah, victims. There's going to be problems somewhere, unfortunately, but that's part of the game. And on the other hand, this means protection. This means even if the world is upside down, don't be fooled by the game. Don't be fooled by the smokes and mirrors and the illusion by the Neptune opposition. The Hangman, okay, it's not, clarity is not what clarity should be. Okay, I get that. You don't feel grounded, I get that. But this is where this Hangman can, for some people it can be in depression, feeling trapped, lost. How do I move forward when I cannot move forward in any way, shape and form? Don't worry then, because the universe will meet you. something will come. Then it will be external for you. If you cannot do absolutely anything, then keep strong in hope and faith, in self-balance, self-discipline. The hangman, if you know what I mean. That's the power of the hangman, that it protects itself. Let me give you a legend, let's say, about the hangman. Now I see in this card Odin, when he purposely hanged himself upside down as a sign of self-sacrifice, martyrdom, but also, to be honest, as a protest to the infinite creational power of the universe, to give him the wisdom of the runes already, because he wanted to use it to better everything. The runes, the divine language, first there was the word. Take Odin's example. Maybe your soul is an Odin, and it's waiting, it's playing a waiting game with the divine. Hang on, hang in there, be strong, do it. Even if you're caught in depression and the not so okay side of the spirit and the psyche and the Neptune and the moon and all of that. Hang in there, please be strong and remember who you are at the heart of your hearts. And for other people, I know it's hard, but work. Some things don't make sense in life. You don't see your future. Maybe your future vision will collapse. Your future, externally, the future vision will collapse. Something will happen. External, that doesn't depend on you. It's our collective human karma. Something from the future cannot be an option anymore, maybe. Something that you hoped. But this is something, as I Pentacles, material, down to a 3D, so it's not a big deal if it changes. But the hangman, don't let it upset you. See the good in it, the opportunity. See that you're protected, because that's also the hangman, and you will get something in return. 8 of Pentacles, work in progress, just work in your learning. Allow yourself to immerse into this experience and even get a bit lost, because it's really good for you. 8 of Cups, the world, and 8 of Cups. Yeah, the end of escaping the world. The end of escaping society, the end of escaping, because chances are, even if you were a person who was misunderstood all their life, like an artist, like a spiritualist, like an empath, like an open senses, like a genius, like a hyper-intellect person, like whoever it is that you are, and you wanted to escape the strictness, the cruelty of the world, always through your art, through your spirit, through whatever. You won't have to now, because the world will be more lost 10 million times than you. King of Wands. Exactly. Go your path. Do not look back. Do not look back, as something completes for everyone. 2 of Wands. You get something. Either you get help, you get an option, you get an opportunity, you get a help that will get you to completion. Don't criticize it. Don't. If it's not ideal, it is what it is. Take it, because this is safety for you. You get help if you're an individual. Collectively, the same thing. Something happens, an alliance forms. Let's not look back to the past. Let's forgive our neighbors. Let ethnical problems not be a problem anymore, because we need alliances in our lives. We need to form very, very strong and loyal communities towards each other. And the necessity and the need for this will arise. Chances are this week. Queen of Pentacles, exactly. We need to start getting serious about certain things in our lives, and collectively as well. So yeah, a quantum leap into the great unknown. We won't know how to navigate when we get there. That's why full stop. Full stop to our future plans. But we'll figure it out very soon. So we'll be a bit lost, but we'll be found in our lostness, if that makes sense. So we must be brave and we must embrace the great adventure. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you for all the love, all the support. Thank you to Ishti for gifting me these wonderful cards. Thank you to the artist for his brilliant approach. And until next time, bye for now.